Thank you guys so much for hanging out this morning. And thanks for holding down the room, Maggie and Jessica.
Yeah, thank you all. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the screen share, Natasha, so we can do a little intro trivia.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. For folks that are having issues getting connected, we do have a help desk. I'm going to post the information for that in the chat if you wanted to reach out to the people that are able to help you troubleshoot getting connected to audio and video. And as we're getting people joined in, you're welcome to answer these questions and let us know, where in Virginia are you? How did you hear about CS Education Week? And would you like to share an interesting fact about computers and what your idea of an algorithm is? And we'll get started soon. All right, I see Winchester. I see a couple people from Winchester. I see Richmond. It's my phone. Coming through Gmail.
Sorry, everyone.
Oh, Amy says that their students have heard of an algorithm. That's exciting. And we also have Chesterfield and more Winchester and Suffolk, Stafford County, and Grayson County. Oh yeah, so Grayson County says you can code on computers and programmers code. That's so true. That's like a great preview for what we're going to be talking about today. Thank you. I see Portsmouth as well. So should we give it another minute and then we'll jump in? Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. I see a couple people that are having issues. So again, if you're having trouble staying connected, I'm going to post the help desk in the chat. Please give them a call or an email and we'll see what's going on. We'll get you guys connected. Oh, one of our kindergartners said his brain is a computer for his body. I love that. That's true, right? Yeah. We send signals back and forth between our body and our brain. You can put 3D objects on a picture, yes. And you can debug a computer. All of these things are fun facts about computers. And you can make apps. Yes, unfortunately, because the number of people that we have is so large, we don't have access to everybody's videos. But I'm really happy that we have so much going on in our chat right now. It's really good to see everybody, to see everybody's words. I think I'm ready. I'm seeing fewer people asking for help, so that feels good to me.
Good. Awesome. We good to start, Natasha?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, awesome. All right, awesome. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Thomas. I'm a Eureka workshops instructor with CodeVA, and I'm very, very excited to be hosting and working on this webinar with you all. It's called Shake It, Program It, and it's the theme revolves around algorithms and computer science for Computer Science Education Week 2020.
Hi everyone, I'm Natasha. I also teach with the Eureka workshop, and I'm so excited to be here because I love bees and I love dancing and moving around, and we get to tie that into the idea of algorithms, and that's what we're going to learn about today.
Yeah, we have lots of different avenues to take and activities to do throughout this this next hour or so. So I say, why don't we jumpstart right into it? So let's first talk a little bit about what algorithms are. They're going to be our main focus today, and believe it or not, we use algorithms every single day. Sometimes we don't even need to think about it. So we're first going to start with an activity that asks, why are they important? And then we'll explore some different avenues that algorithms happen all around us. That could be here, like in my kitchen. It could be out in nature and anywhere else. So follow along and see if you can figure out what an algorithm is. And first, we're going to start with a little bit of baking. So Tasha?
You guys ready to help with some baking activities here in the kitchen? Let's do this.
So, all right. So we're going to make our own algorithm cookie. And so we have I will be here with a list of ingredients and things, and we don't have just the direction. We don't have the directions, just a list of ingredients. So I'll be relying on you all and Natasha to help me work out with all of these ingredients I have right here on figuring out how to bake cookies. So,
all right, guys.
Let's first figure out what needs to happen first. I think I'll give a little hint, and I believe the first step would be to preheat my oven. So I'm going to get that started, and then you all, Natasha, I'll let you all take it away on the participation.
Sounds great. So here we have some of a recipe, right? Which is what we're going to be using in order to make something that we don't already know how to cook in the kitchen. But it looks like the actual instructions are missing. So all that we have are the ingredients. So now that Thomas is back from preheating the oven, let's take a look at these ingredients and see if we can help him figure out what needs to happen first. So if you want to help, go ahead and type in the chat or see if you in your classroom can come up with what you think the very, very first step is now that we already have that oven getting preheated. So Thomas, if you want to zoom in on those ingredients so we can see them full screen, I think that'll help us out. And let's see if there's any suggestions from our chat. What do we need to do with all of these separate ingredients to turn them into delicious cookies? Okay, I'm seeing mixing the dry ingredients first. So how do we mix up all of the dry ingredients?
So do I just start pouring things in?
Yeah, should we just pour them all into your hands and then we can like mush them up together? I think that sounds great. Ah, Connor says we should mix it in a bowl. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, this thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So which should I start with first? I have lots of different dry ingredients. I've got flour. I've got some baking soda. I've got granulated sugar, brown sugar.
Rutgers kindergartners are saying put the sugar in. So I think that sounds great. And Lockhart is saying flour and sugar, along with Connor as well. Mm-hmm. We do have a spoon, Demetria. Thank you. So let's go ahead. Yeah, a lot of people want to start with the sugar. I think that's great.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go with the granulated sugar first.
Perfect. Ah, and now we also have people saying that we need a spoon So once the sugar's in the bowl, we're going to be able to use a spoon.
All right.
Love it. And then we're going to mix it up with a spoon.
Mix it with a what?
With a spoon.
Oh, yeah.
That looks great, guys. So what happens next? All right, so I'm seeing a lot of people saying eggs come next. So let's go ahead and add those eggs.
Okay.
Eggs to
So
the
just
bowl.
put the egg in.
Yeah, that sounds great. I like a little bit of crunch to my chocolate chip cookies. So that looks great. Oh no, I think we didn't do that right. What do we need to do, guys? We need to crack the eggs? Okay.
Okay. So I know I have flour too. Shouldn't I add that? Do I leave that out? Or
That's true. We haven't done all of the ingredients yet. I'm seeing some people saying not yet.
Okay. Let's see. Not the eggs yet. Add the flour to the bowl.
Yeah, flour sounds great.
Add the flour.
And I think that's our last dry ingredient, other than the chocolate chips.
Oh,
and the baking soda.
Quick half a teaspoon of baking soda.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and add that one.
I love that people are reminding us to crack the eggs first. That's so important.
Okay. All right. So yes, mix this a little more. All right, that looks pretty well mixed, I'd say.
That's great.
You agree?
Yeah.
All right, now back at the eggs.
Right, so we have to crack those open, and we don't want to put the shells in the cookies, right? That's what chat's thinking?
All right, I'll be very careful here.
All right, so what comes after the eggs are in that bowl? Funkhauser says to stir it up really well.
Stir it up. I've got a few things I could use to stir. So I've got a spoon, a spatula, and a whisk. What might be best here? I got my hands too. Could do those.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people asking for a whisk.
Yeah, okay. All right. Still have 3 other ingredients too, just FYI. I've got oil, vanilla, and the chocolate chips. But
So as Thomas is working on getting those eggs mixed in, what do we think should go in next? Of those 3. I'm seeing some oil. Amy's thinking chocolate chips though.
getting pretty clumpy.
It is pretty clumpy. Uh-oh. Yeah, the oil and vanilla will make it wet. That might make it easier.
Okay, yeah, add it. Do I just pour it all in all at once?
Looks great. Does it look like cookies yet, Thomas?
What's that? Sorry?
Does it look like cookies yet, Thomas?
They look like pretty plain cookies.
Oh, no, you're right.
Oh.
Okay, I'm seeing Dimitri's recommending to pour and fold at the same time. That's a good point. That's definitely a good way to get oil mixed in for expert bakers. Amaya would like to add vanilla.
Okay. Add that
I'm
in.
seeing a lot of people saying vanilla.
I think it was 1.5 teaspoons, so I'll do 3 half teaspoons.
And then I think, yeah, we only have one more ingredient before these become cookies. I'm so excited. This is the best part, right?
Smells really good, that vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Really love that.
Looks like folks are ready to see some chocolate go in.
Yeah, is it chocolate time?
I think so.
All right.
Funkhauser says to mix the chocolate chips slowly. That's a good point. We don't want it to get too messy.
It definitely has the color of chocolate chips. I'm seeing that.
Yeah, it looks good. It doesn't look like a cookie yet, though.
No, not quite.
So at this point, the oven is probably preheated, right? So I think that we should be able to just stick that right in there and then pull out maybe a dozen cookies, right?
Yeah, just like directly in there, just in the bowl.
That sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, I can try to fit it in.
Oh, Amaya says to roll them. And we also have a reminder to wash our hands and mix it. That's a good way to shape it. That's true.
I made sure to before I got my hands in there. Should roll them. Okay, so
Little balls.
I roll them just here on the countertop, or no? I probably need a baking sheet.
Ah, a cookie sheet. Now I see.
Wouldn't you know? I had one lying around. So, okay, so let's see. I need a cookie sheet. I need to make small balls of cookies. So, I guess I could start scooping, right? I just need to
Sounds good, yeah.
just kind of like scoop it,
Yeah.
put it down.
I see Landon saying roll them in a ball.
Oh, roll them. Okay, all right. Well, let's see how that works. So,
Lots of people like the idea of rolling it in your hands.
rolling it in my hands. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Amaya also recommends an ice cream scoop. That's a good idea. Like plating.
You have one lying around. Okay. So that's kind of cookie shaped, I'd say.
That looks good, yeah. Cool.
Okay. I think this is a good spoon size for the size of cookies I'd want. So roll them in a ball. Oh, okay. All right. I'll get this one a little more circular.
You guys want to see them in a nice big circle rather than flattened out? Ah, no ice cream inside this cookie, but we might have an activity for you later.
Something like that?
Do you guys like that? It's too big.
Needs to be smaller. Okay, all right. So, let's see. Golf ball sized, okay. This one's a little more golf ball sized, I'd say.
That looks good.
All right, I think that's ideally what we're looking for. So, I'm gonna go ahead, keep this going. I can always make a second batch later too. So if I end up not having them.
So as Thomas is sort of making these nice cookie balls so you can put them in the oven, are there any ideas of how this relates to an algorithm? Because we definitely are supposed to be here to talk about computer science, but instead we're in the kitchen making cookies. Why would we do that?
Too close. Okay.
I mean, I enjoy making cookies as much as the next person, but it's a school day. Emily says it's step by step, and Landon says to go in order. JKES says that algorithms go in order like recipes. Those are all really great points. You guys are really smart. You're figuring this out before we even get to our actual presentation. Yep, Demetria also says steps to make cookies is an algorithm. That's true. So making recipes is a really great example of an algorithm. We're kind of programming Thomas like a computer, right? We're giving him these specific things that we have to do one step at a time in a way where he's able to understand what we're trying to say. And then now that he's done it, he has a cookie building program. And maybe later we can say, Thomas, make cookies, and he'll have those same steps. And he can make the same thing happen a second time if they turn out well. Because we have a way that we know how to make cookies that hopefully will keep working over and over again.
So I think.
So how's that look?
Does that look pretty good?
Yeah.
And we can see, kind of have like a test cookie. This one's much larger than the others, so we can kind of see how that all works out. Now I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands before I pop them in the oven, and then it should be good.
Awesome. JKES says fixing the space is like debugging. That's also such a great point, right? We can make a recipe this time and we can have this algorithm recipe for cookies. And if something doesn't work, we only have to change one step before we try doing it a little bit differently a second time. So we're going to let Thomas put these cookies in the oven, and then we're going to see if they actually work. And maybe if they do, we have a really good algorithm. But if they don't, we can act like a programmer and we can debug that recipe and keep trying and trying until we make the absolute perfect batch of cookies.
Now, all right, I'm going to set my oven for 10 minutes. And let's see, what's that temperature say again? 350. All right, so that is that. I'm going to save the rest of this batter in my fridge for another batch later on. Great. Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Welcome back.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and screen share back to our presentation. Let's get that up and running.
It also occurs to me, Thomas, I know you were planning on relocating, but you have to keep an eye on the oven.
I do. So I can stay out here for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody, let's talk a little bit about what happened here. I know, Natasha, you went a little bit into algorithms, and people were responding a little bit in the chat about the step-by-step process, but that exactly is what algorithms are. So they're instructions that are step-by-step that are given in order to solve a problem. And for this case, my problem was, hey, I need cookies. I'm desperate for cookies. And we needed to give me, or together, we gave me directions that would make sense so that the cookies could be made correctly. Now, I've never made cookies from scratch at home. And I know what makes a bad cookie. I wouldn't really want eggshells in my cookie. So having things like the specificity, or being specific in your instructions, like exactly what to do with the egg, that's a very important thing. So maybe people can reply in the chat. What are some good ways to give good directions?
So we talked about being really specific and doing things step by step. Yep, doing things in order is really important. Are there other ways that we can make sure that we're giving really good directions? Oh, Miss Glavis' first grade class also says be detailed and clear. That's a good point too. Also, Demetria, thank you guys.
Yeah, I see being descriptive, telling them in order, and some person said draw pictures of examples. I really
Also,
like that.
yeah, we were able to sort of troubleshoot saying add the eggs. And, you know, most people are going to know that you don't need eggshells. But if you've never cracked an egg before, it might be really helpful to have somebody go through the steps of making sure that you're cracking it on a hard surface, doing it in a way where you're not just crumbling the whole egg, and then putting the outside of the egg somewhere safe, like a trash can right away, so that you don't have to worry about it later. So it just depends on who's listening to those instructions.
Yeah, and I think another thing that really helped me was having a bit of a visual. When someone said I should roll the balls to be about golf ball sized, I know exactly what that looks like and what that size is. So that really helped me. I had no idea. I thought I could make a big palm-sized cookie that way, but I didn't even know it needed to be a ball. So we're in the oven. We'll be able to see hopefully in about 6 or 7 minutes what came. So thank you all for your assistance. Looking forward to trying this out. All right, so next we're going to segue over to our next activity, which is how bees use algorithms too. So that we're going to explore through an activity called the Waggle Dance. Now, bees are a very, very important part of our ecosystem, and they, like us, use ways of communicating with one another. So we're going to explore a little bit about how bees are able to do that. Just learn a little bit. We got a video. Let's pull it up. So I hope everyone's audio is on.
I study all different kinds of social bees because you really need to look at social bees to study their communication. I look at honeybees, bumblebees, and stingless bees. Honeybees have this amazing ability to communicate, and it's one of the reasons why I became a biologist, because I discovered as an undergraduate that they could communicate using a waggle dance.
Inside Science.
So a bee that dances inside the nest, let's say she goes out to find a good food source. She'll find that flower, and if it's rewarding enough, she'll come back and she'll do this dance that almost looks like a figure eight of a bee dancing back and forth and then waggling her butt, if you will, her abdomen. And that waggling is key because the angle at which she's waggling and the duration of time she spends doing it actually tells bees where to go to find food. They can tell each other where to go, how far away to fly, and what distance to go to actually find the food source. Basically, the longer she spends shaking or waggling, the further away the food source is. So another amazing part of this communication system, which hasn't...
Okay. All right. Now that is about it for that video, but thank you to get that information. And now, I'm going to talk a little bit about just how bees exactly dance to share those directions. So let's talk a little bit about the angle. So the angle that the bees are going is based on the direction of the sun. So the way that they're dancing, the way that they're waggling, is dependent on the direction that they need to go. That, along with the actual distance that they need to go, is how many times they actually do that waggle. So the number of waggles the bee makes actually translates to how far away the bees need to travel. So instead of using words like you and I, or say if we're driving around, we have our handy GPS navigator to help us get around, and it tells us the directions. You need to go 5 miles down X road to get to your destination. Now, bees don't have technology in that way, so they've adapted this style of communication through algorithms. So we explored a little bit with recipes, how humans also share that information with algorithms too. And we use that to create our cookies. So now, like writing a recipe, we can write directions to help other humans navigate making cookies, just like how bees tell each other how to get around. Now, in a bit of a segue, we're going to be opening our own restaurant, and we need your help with dessert to make it a raging success. We're very excited. Now, later on in this activity, we'll get to drawing your actual dream dessert using algorithms. But first, we need to head to the restaurant.
So today is the first day of our restaurant. We're having a grand opening celebration, but I kind of forgot to tell people how to get there. And so we're gonna help customers get to our restaurant right now on opening day. And we're gonna be using a Waggle Dance to do that. So if you're able to see my screen for this bit, we're gonna be having 2 different dance moves. We're gonna be doing a spinning gesture to help Armand, who's our first customer, spin in a circle. And then when he's facing the right direction, we stop spinning, and then we can have him walk forward by making a go motion.
Yep.
And so if everybody wants to do that with me again one more time. First, we're gonna spin, and then we're gonna tell him to go. That looks great.
Awesome.
So let's go ahead and give that a try and help Armand get to our restaurant.
All right, let's check it out.
It's lunchtime.
There he is. I see him up here, so let's go right ahead.
So we need to get him so that he's looking right at our restaurant. So first we need to tell him to spin a little bit because he's not facing the right direction. He can't see it.
Okay.
And then now that he's facing it, we're gonna have him walk forward, just like that.
Yeah.
Awesome, he made it.
We made it to the restaurant. Look at that. Sweet. All right, let's do another one. Now, let's see.
So we're gonna have him spin again. And once he's facing the right direction, we have to tell him to walk forward. And his jetpack takes him right where he needs to go. Awesome job, guys.
All right. Now we have another. This one requires a couple different directions. So let's start first.
We're gonna have him spin, but he can't face the restaurant because there's trees. So we're gonna have him go over here first. And now he has to move again. So let's have him spin one more time. See if we can get him to face the right direction. Awesome. And we'll have him go forward.
Yeah.
That's his 3rd lunch today. And he's made it.
That's awesome. Ooh. Okay. Sounds like the timer just went off on the cookies. Should we check that out real quick?
Yeah, let's check out the cookies. I think Armand can wait a minute before he gets to lunch for the 4th time.
One is on the way for cookies.
Those look like cookies.
We can make cookies, guys. Good job.
Well, they look like they could use a little more time, so I'm just going to pop them in there, maybe 5 more minutes.
Perfect. Okay, and when Thomas gets back, we're going to do one more movement for Armand. So see if you can trace what direction you think he needs to go. And then we're going to start making him spin. Pamela wants a cookie. So let's get him to spin. Okay. And then we're going to get him to go forward. And he needs to spin again. There he goes.
Let's go all the way around.
And
now
he's going to move forward. And then one more spin. And we can tell him to go forward. Oh, maybe he's not hungry now. There he goes. Awesome job, guys.
everybody.
I think that's a successful opening day.
Yeah, good day so far, certainly. Now, to wrap up, everyone, we're going to have a few questions. So, one of our moderators, if you're able to release the poll, we can get some data on the questions here. But otherwise, they're here. Thank you. Awesome. So they're also available here on the screen. So let's go over a little bit about what exactly are algorithms. So Are algorithms a group of bees flying? Are they a set of instructions to solve a problem? Are they communicating clearly? Or are they coding a computer to bake a cake? Did we do that? All right. We're getting some results in. This is great.
Cool.
We'll wait just another moment.
Should we go through all of the questions and then go through the answers?
Yeah, that works. And then we can kind of double back. That sounds good. Okay, so the next question is, what kind of process do algorithms use? Is this a step-by-step process, a go with the flow process, a backwards and reverse process, or an up and down and side to side? Kind of like how Armand was spinning on his jetpack. Is that the process? Cool, so go ahead and answer that in the poll. Now, where can algorithms be found or used? Are they only on computers? Can they only be used with the help of an adult? Or are they all around us? And last but not least, now this one can be multiple choice, or can have multiple answers. So let's see. What is important when creating instructions? Is that being specific in our instructions? Is that having them in the correct order? Is that making them step by step? Or is that all of the above? Jump back, that's it for our wrap-up questions. Now let's go check this poll. So we're almost at the 2-minute mark. Let's see. So sharing poll results. Okay, so it looks like correct. A set of instructions to solve a problem. That is indeed what an algorithm is. Congratulations to the 95% of folks who answered correctly. All right, we're gonna move on now to what kind of process do algorithms use? And the answer here is A, yes, a step-by-step process. As nice as it would be to be able to just go with the flow and have every algorithm work, that just isn't it. We have to give them step by step. Now, now where can our algorithms be found or used? And look at that, we have 100% polling showing up for all around us. Very true.
Awesome job.
It's not just limited to our computers or the help of an adult. Algorithms are happening all around us. Now let's check out what is important when creating the instructions. Is it just being specific, having them in the correct order, like we talked about, having them step by step? No, it is all of the above. All of these things are super important to giving good instructions and creating good algorithms. So thank you all for joining. We have our final wrap-up activity to kind of take us to the end of the session. We have about 10 minutes remaining. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to your actual dream dessert for this restaurant. Now, this will take a little bit of brainstorming, and classrooms, you may work together on this if you'd like, but we would like you to think of your favorite dessert item that you would like to add to the menu. So you can do this on a piece of paper with drawing utensils, but while you're working, think about what order things would go when you're making this dessert. So that will be important for the step-by-step process. But I have an example here of my own custom dream cake that I would love to have in the restaurant. Now this is a very large cake, and I want to kind of outline here exactly what is going on here, because it's a lot. So the very first layer, the one on the bottom, now that is the style of a Black Forest cake, which has cherries in it. So that would be the first step, would be adding the Black Forest cake layer. Then on top of that, there's a layer of chocolate frosting, which I love. And then above that, we have a layer of vanilla ice cream that we would add on top of that. So it's kind of like a ice cream Black Forest cake. Then on top of that, there's some dark chocolate, just to kind of even it out, a little bit of vanilla. need to have a little bit of dark chocolate on there. I'm a chocoholic. And then there's some buttercream icing around a layer of marbled chocolate yellow cake. So that was our 5th and 6th layers of this cake. And on the very, very top, it is covered all with whipped topping. So that is the final step of this dream layer cake. So it's very, very large, but a cake that I think would sell pretty well at this restaurant of ours. So you're not limited to just making a cake. You can make an ice cream sundae. You could make a style of another type of food you like, but as a dessert, which could be interesting too. But now you'll have plenty of time to go off and try making your own dream dessert. That about wraps up our webinar on algorithms and desserts and restaurants and bees. Maybe I think what I'll do, I'll just kind of hop out of the screen share at this point, and we can see if anyone has any further questions or anything. We can stand by in the chat. Otherwise, get started on those dream desserts, everybody.
Thank you guys so much for coming today and enjoying bees and dancing with us and helping Thomas make what looks like, hopefully, some really tasty cookies.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Let's check those out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Golden brown, just how I love.
Oh, Thomas, you have to share. Awesome job.
Thank you, Thomas and Natasha, for sharing with us today. This has been really fun.
Yeah, this was really fun too. Thank you all.
Yeah, I hope everybody has a fantastic day.
If anybody has any questions for Thomas and Natasha, feel free to put it in the chat. It seems like Zoe C has no questions. I appreciate that. Also, Ethan does not have any questions. Oh, Pamela would like for us to tell everybody about Snail Mail. Natasha, go for it.
Snail Mail is a free monthly activity booklet that we send in the mail. Parents or families are able to sign up for it directly. If you are also a school and you're interested in distributing it, you can do that as well. And it's offline activities. So the idea is you should be able to do them without needing any kind of extra technology or any expensive ingredients. And that happens every single month. So our next issue is actually coming out towards the end of December. And then again, like probably mid-January. We're working on having a set schedule right now. But if you'd like to sign up for that, you can go to codeva.info/snailmail, I believe. I will post that in the chat. And we have an edition that is being translated into Spanish as well. And that would be codeva.info/Espanol snail mail. I double check that link before I send it.
We had a question. So if we already signed up, it'll come in late December. I think the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
the activities just got submitted for this month, and I'm really excited. I love the theme that we're working with, which is time travel, because we're going into the new year. So we're talking about timelines and tech history and ways that we can time travel.
Thank you, Mrs. Richardson, and your second grade class. As always, we love seeing you for CS Ed Week. It was different this year, but thank you so much.
Great, that about wraps up, I think, our session. I don't think we have any further questions. So if you ask me, I'm going to dig into these cookies. See what that. Let's see how.
You make us jealous.
Our labor work out.
Enjoy that, Thomas.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Yes, and happy CS Education Week.